Hello guys, and thanks for coming to my YouTube channel, and this is the part 2 of Modifier Explained tutorial series. Before starting the video, I would like to mention that now I create an account in Patreon, and now you can support me on Patreon. So if you want to support, the link is in the description. So let's start from the deform category. The number one is the armature modifier. So it's a modifier which control the armature of an object. Okay, so if we in character have bonds, then it can control some of the options. For example, if I have this cube and I will shift A and I will add a simple bone. Okay, as you can see, it's add. If I want to unhide it, I can go here and make this one in print. Okay, so as you can see, how I can now see it. So let me grab it a bit down and now shift and select the object first, and then shift and select the bone, and now press Ctrl P and make it with automatic weights. So now this bone is now controlling it. So if we grab to G, as you can see, it's controlling. So if we now go to the object, select it, and if we go to the modifiers, as you can see, this modifier is turned on. Okay, so here are some simple problem. These are not pretty much usable, but if you want, you can use it. Like this one is the pressure volume. So if your character is going inward in some places, you can make this one check and it will work fine. And it's also used for when you control your character with bonds and the mesh starts scaling, like scaling down or scaling up. So this option can help. Okay, rather than that, this modifiers is not usable in your daily blender works. Okay, so jumping to the next one, which is the cast modifier. So for example, let me delete it and then shift A and add a monkey head. So this is a monkey head. Okay, so the cast modifier is a modifier which convert the shape into a predefined primitive, like for example, this is now the spheric. Okay, the spheric is the target of this modifier. So if we increase this one, as you can see, it's now converting to a sphere. But as you can see, the shape is the geometry is like the same. It's just creating it to make it something like a sphere. Okay, so it can be pretty much usable. There are a few options like cylindrical. So if I now do it, as you can see, it's making kind of like cylinder. Okay, and the third one is the cuboid. Okay, and as you can see, our monkey head is now going to become a kind of like cube. Okay, so this modifier is used for changing the shape of an object to a predefined shapes like cylinder and cubic and the spheric. Okay, so let's jumping to the next one, which is a curve modifier. So this modifier used to control the curve. For example, if I shift A and then go to the curves and I add a circle curve. Okay, so and then if I add a shift A and then add a text, so now if you will see that how is it working. Okay, let me scale it up, then rotate it with X. Okay, 90-degree, and let's try go to edit mode and let's try some words like I am curve modifier. Okay, and then go to tab and go to object mode. Now if we select this object and we add a curve modifier, so what we can do, just go here and select this circle, and as you can see uh, our text is now following this curve. Okay, so it can be very handy if you want to model something complex, so you can follow along this. Okay, it can be very helpful. And if the result is like opposite or something, you can change the uh, direction axis here. Okay, as you can see, it's now following something like this. Okay, but we need the first one, so here is it. Okay, so let me delete these. Okay, so jumping to the next one, which is a displace modifier. So it's a modifier which displays an object with with a texture. Okay, so let me show you how it's work. Okay, so for this task I will use a simple plane, and I will go to the edit mode, then right click, subdivide, and we will make this value a bit higher, like 50. Okay, it's pretty much good higher. Now we will add a displace modifier, and we will choose new. So now we need to add texture. You can use your manual custom texture, or you can use this texture. The cloud one is the more usable. Okay, which make this effect. So at this effect you can decrease the strength a bit, because it's now too high. And if I right click and smooth it, so I can get this kind of result. Okay, and if it's look low poly to you, you can also add a subdivision modifier, and you can get some smoother result. So jumping to the next one, which is the hook modifier. So hook modifier is a modifier which control an area of an object with another object. So let me show you an example. If I have a plane, and the plane have some subdivision level like 50. Okay, and then if I add shift A and empty, so now we can control this plane with this empty. Okay, so what we need to do is to select the plane. Okay, so for this we need to add this object to in a group. Okay, so go here and add a vertex group, and then go to the edit mode, select all, and then assign it. So now this object have this group, and now we can go here for the modifier hook. Okay, and first of all select the plane axis, this arrow, and then select the group which we created. If I turn on the wireframe here, so we can see it. Okay, so I scale it a bit up, and now if we grab this one, so as you can see, we can increase and decrease the strength, and we can change the radius to change this effect. Okay, it's same like if we turn on the proportional edit, and then go here with edit mode. If we select some area and then grab it with the proportional, so it's same working like this. Okay, so jumping to the next one, which is a lattice modifier. Okay, so this is a modifier which also control one object with another, but this is a pretty much different way. Let me explain it with a sphere. So for example, if we have this sphere, let me smooth it a bit. Okay, so now there is a lot of geometry, and we can control it. Sometimes it's hard to control it, so for that the lattice modifier is used. So shift A, and then add a lattice here. Okay, now scale it a bit up, something like this. And now select the object and add a lattice modifier, and then select this one. Okay, so now if we go to the edit mode here, and if we select this vertex, you will see that our object is now, we can deform it easily with these four with these vertices. So it's also a way to control an object. Like if you have a complex object, then it's hard to select the part of it and then making it deform. So this is the way to do it. So jumping to the next one, which is the mesh deform. Okay, so for that I would like to add a sphere. So shift A and add a sphere, then grab it up a bit, and now select this one cube, and then go here to the object setting and go here with viewport display, and then click here and change it to wire. So now as you can see, our object is wire now. So now select this one, select the object which you want to control, which you want to deform, and then go to the mesh deform. Okay, now pick this option and pick the object on which you want to control it, and then press bend. Okay, so it will take some time. It's a bit laggy modifier. Sometimes it's crash the computer because if you have a complex scene, then I would recommend to not use it. Okay, so select the object, the controller object, and then go to the edit mode, select a vertex, and now if we grab it, as you can see, our object is now deformed. So it's pretty much easy to now change this shape of it. Okay, as you can see. Okay, so jumping to the next one, which is the Shrinkwrap modifier. So it's a modifier, it's used for retopology because it snap into another object. Let me explain it with an example. For example, if we have this pair and I shift A and I add a cube. Okay, now scale it down, something like this. Now grab it up, so our cube is now in the center of the sphere. If we want to shrink this sphere into this object, the cube, so for that select this one, select the object which you want to shrink. So I would like to shrink this one, Shrinkwrap, and then select the cube on which object you want to shrink. So for that you can also pick this option, but our cube is not looking at this stage. So what we will do is we will select manually by here. So I will select cube. As you can see, our sphere is now Shrinkwrap on the cube. Let me apply it, and now if we delete the default cube, so this is the sphere which convert to a cube because we add the Shrinkwrap modifier. So it's pretty much usable. Let me check it if I have a character in it, simple character. Okay, so for example, if we have this character and we want to retopper, for that I would like to shift A, add a plane, scale it down, then we will grab it there, rotate it with X at 90 degree. Okay, then grab it again a bit there. Okay, now grab it there, let me scale it again a bit. Okay, so now we will select the object, then we will add a Shrinkwrap. Okay, and then select the object. Okay, sorry, select the plane and then Shrinkwrap, and then select the object on which you want to shrink. So as you can see, our planes move to here. So now we can work on it easily and we can make it move around. So this modifier is used most in the retopology process. Okay, so jumping to the next modifier, which is a simple deform. So it's a really great modifier. I'm really impressed when I use for the first time. So let me explain with an example. So for example, if I have this cube, so I will move it a bit up, and then I will go to the edit mode, go to the face selection, double click on it, and then F3 and search for checker deselect, this option, and now extrude it, and then escape, and then Alt S to extrude it outside. Okay, as you can see, something like this. Let me scale it with Z a bit, and now this is and now we will add this modifier. Okay, simple deform. As you can see, it's deform, and if we check this option to Z, it will give us something like this result. Okay, which is really great. The Z axis is locked. Okay, and you can change the angle, and as you can see, our object is now twisting. Okay, so really great. You can check these options, or you can try another axis if you want, but this is a really cool modifier. If you want to make something like twisted object, I think this will work really great. Okay, so jumping to the next one, which is the smooth modifier. So smooth modifier, as you can see from the name, it's smoothing the object, but there are three options which you can add. But the first one, let me show you the repeat. So if you increase the level, as you can see, it's now going for more smooth, and you can also increase the factor. Okay, and the cool thing in this is you can now lock an axis. For example, if I don't want to smooth it in the X, so I can I can take it, and I can detake it. Okay, so as you can see, we have now a full control in it. So jumping to the next one, which is the surface deform. Okay, so this is also like a lattice modifier, but it's a bit different. So let me show you with an example. If I have this plane and I want to be the controller of this object, so for that, select the object and then add the surface deform, and then select the object, something like this. But this one is more quicker than the mesh deform. This was a little laggy, but this one is pretty much fast. As you can see, if I press the bend, it's did it. Okay, great. Now if I go to the edit mode and I try some grabbing the vertex, so as you can see, it's pretty much deform. Okay, great. You can also do some shape keys with it. Okay, but let me jump into the another one. So the last one we have is the web modifier. So this is one of my favorite modifier. Okay, let me show you why it's my favorite, and also tell me in comments that which one is your favorite. Okay, so I have this plan. I will go to the edit mode and I will try to subdivide it. How much times? I will do it like 50 times. Okay, and I will also scale it a bit up. Oh, something like this. Now simply add this wave modifier, and as you can see, it give you this result. You would say like it's pretty much burning, but it's not, because if you play the animation, oh great, it will give you that kind of animation. And the cool thing in it is that you can also play with the axes. Okay, for example, if I play with this one, you can see the x1 is locked now, and we just have these tools, so it's doing something like this. Another cool thing in this, let me show you, that you can add a texture on it. How? Let me show you. Press new, then go to the textures, and then click on the clouds. Okay, so now you have a cloud texture. Let me smooth it with right click and smooth. And if I again here go again here and let's play it. Oh, this is super awesome. Okay, so now you can make animation like earthquake or anything else. And if I do this one, so this is now like a wave going, but really interesting. I pretty much like it. And this ends up the tutorial. I hope you like the video, and if you like, then please give me a like and subscribe to the channel. And one more thing I would like to mention, and that I create a Patreon account. So if you want to support me, then please support me and wait for the next video, which will be on simulate and the modify. So this will be this is now the second part, and this will be the third part. So hope you like the video. If you enjoyed, then please give me a like and subscribe to our channel. And for now, bye.